Broadcasting live worldwide.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are watching us from. Welcome to the 2026 FIFA World Cup Showtime on Sportsnet FM Radio, Zambia's home for African sports conversations, the nation's sportainment channel. With me, your host and anchor, Francis Nagonje, the sports addict. As usual, we are joined by our studio analyst, Nick Mwibawa. Welcome, Nick, to Showtime FIFA review on Sportsnet FM.
Thank you so much, my pleasure. It's an awesome time to be here, and thank you viewers for tuning in.
Great that we could meet yet again to talk everything football, and this time around we're not talking about Arsenal, viewers. You already got your crown.
Exactly, yes.
Our focus this time around is actually on a global stage. The world has actually converged in US, Mexico and Canada.
Exactly.
A quick review on that.
Wow, this is the greatest showpiece in the world. Football lovers around the world are ecstatic. They're excited to tune into their TVs and watch matches that are running on 3 venues around the world. It's so awesome to see soccer fans around the world glued to their television sets, watching football coming live from Canada, from Mexico, and from the United States of America. It's such an awesome time in the history of sports. They expanded the competition. It's running for 404 days. We'll be watching these matches. For a month, actually, we're watching these matches screened live from these venues. It's exciting.
It is indeed the first ever that FIFA is actually organizing a World Cup in 3 nations.
Exactly.
Yeah, because in the past it's just been
Maybe 2 nations.
2 nations,
yes,
like
1 nation.
or 1 nation.
Yeah.
And this time around, like you said,
yeah.
104 days.
Yes.
Pure football on
yes.
on smartphones,
yes.
on tablets,
exactly.
On smart TVs,
yeah.
on YouTube,
streaming live,
exactly,
it's everywhere.
Yes, and a lot is happening
exactly
in the 3 nations.
Yes,
surprises, like records being broken, I would love you just to quickly say something on Africa's 10-team representation at the World Cup.
Well, first of all, Africa never used to even be represented. I did a bit of research. In 1966, the World Cup that England actually won, their first ever winning of the World Cup, Africa was not represented. No African team appeared at the 1966 World Cup competitions. And African countries began to petition and lobby FIFA to include us. When they included us, only 3 teams appeared there. Then after 3 teams, 5 teams appeared. Then 7 teams. Now, finally, 10 teams from the continent are there to showcase their stuff on the biggest stage of the world, which is the World Cup. It's amazing. We are living in an amazing times.
It is indeed.
Yes.
It's amazing, and especially that Africa actually is supplying the finest football talent
exactly
to the world.
To the world, yes.
Talk about all these major football leagues
yes.
In the world.
Yes.
Much of the thrilling talent and skill, football expertise that we've been able to see,
yes.
Much of it is coming from Africa.
Africa, yes. Africa is talented. We don't lack talent in Africa. So, obviously when they get on these big stages, you can see the flair, the way African teams play. You can see that it's pure football that is engineered purely from talent. These kids most of them learned football on the pitches, the dry pitches in Africa, in the streets.
Yes.
Chimpombwa, as we say,
yes.
For those conversant with Pemba. That is the wrapper, the wrap ball that we make.
Yes,
homemade balls. And these boys, they groom their skills and hone their skills on those pitches. And then from there, they go and ply their trade in Europe and many of these places. And so they go there with that mentality, the free-flowing football, the dribbling and all the skills and everything. Africa is there to really showcase their talent.
Great to hear that, and it's showing, you know, because if you sit down and just look at the big names right now, you know, that are making it big, you know, most of those names actually are from Africa.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes, even most of the French team.
French.
If you check their roots,
exactly.
most of those guys hail from Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's why I support even France.
France.
Because most of those guys, if you look at them, their descent is from Africa. They descend from here. Their parents came from Africa and settled in those countries in Europe. And these guys are Africans.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
Talking about representation.
Yes.
It's actually very interesting to see how these, you know, European teams actually have been, you know, have a mix of this African
flair.
You know what I mean?
Blood.
You know.
Yes.
I see a situation where in future
yes.
we'll find an all England team with African names.
Actually, not to forget, today in the afternoon when I was streaming on my phone, I was shocked and surprised in a good way. Like one of the Zambian-bred Zambian is playing for Netherlands, and he played for 31 minutes in the second half. I was shocked. A Zambian even wrapped himself in a Zambian flag, but playing for Holland.
For Holland.
Yeah. So these things are going to happen soon,
yes.
because we have kids who are growing up there, but their roots are here, and they can represent. In fact, we have cases even in Europe where a guy could play for England, and the next thing you see him playing for Nigeria. You may see a person playing for France, but maybe he's not picked there. He comes to play for Senegal.
Exactly.
Those things are happening today.
I mean, I've been able to look into the issue of neutralizing.
Exactly.
You know, being able to accept
talent from outside.
Outside.
That can come and play into our national team.
These are football players.
Yes.
Whose parents are Zambian, but
yes.
they're
born outside.
Outside.
Yes.
You know, and
there shouldn't be resistance to have to incorporate and integrate such players born from Zambian parents, even though they were born abroad. There's no reason why we should not incorporate them in our national team, so that they bring the flair, they bring the skill sets from there, the exposure and the talent into our Zambian national team.
Exactly.
There's no reason why we shouldn't
and
do
especially that, you know, they get to start their football careers in Europe and in the US, where facilities, you know, the structures.
Madueke is one of them. Saka is one of them. This young man Olise, his father is the Olise gentleman, you know, Sunday Olise, from Nigeria.
Yeah.
These are players who are born out of African players, but because their parents were there plying their trade in Europe, they were born there and they were exposed to football in Europe, and they bring that talent in Africa. There's nothing wrong with that. Madueke now plays for England, but his parents are from Nigeria.
Right.
The same with Saka.
Right.
Yeah, these are Nigerians who are born there,
yeah,
but they represent England, and they're tapping from that talent.
Yeah,
and
same. One thing can be talked about Eberezi.
Even him is Nigerian. The parents are Nigerian, but he's naturalized in England. So he plays for England.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
It's great, you know, starts to 2026 FIFA World Cup. Showtime on Sportsnet FM radio with me, your host Francis Nagonje, the sports addict, hosting our studio analyst Nick Mwiwawa.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
It's showtime, it's the game plan for the leaders and the fans. From Monday to the world we stand. Sportsnet FM, your trusted brand.
Highlights, debates, the stories we share. Voices of the fans fill the air. Executives, coaches, the vision is grand. Sportsnet FM, Africa Sports Command.
It's showtime. It's showtime. It's the game plan for the leaders and the fans. Energy, pride, together we can. Sportsnet FM, your truest trusted fan. Sportsnet FM. Sportsnet FM.
Welcome back to the 2026 FIFA World Cup Showtime on Sportsnet FM radio with me, Francis Nagonje, the sports addict, with our studio analyst Nick Mwiwawa. Nick, welcome back.
Thank you, Francis. Yes.
From an organization perspective, what do you think is something that Africa can actually learn from how this World Cup has actually been organized.
Yeah. From an organizational perspective, I would say that Africa has a lot to learn about how the logistics fell into place. We haven't heard of teams, failing to catch flights. We haven't heard of teams not having the right hotel, the right meals. We haven't had any of that drama because these showpieces are done excellently, and it's something we can learn going forward as we host teams in Africa, as we host these big global events, to learn from such showpieces how these are organized. There's no time where you can hear no, a team didn't arrive on time because maybe there was a breakdown in communication, or there was breakdown in this or breakdown in that. Everything is seamless, and we can really send kudos to FIFA for this.
And of course, there's been a few cases where we had something to do with immigration protocols,
Yeah.
and all, where some teams, players, of course, singled out from a few teams where they were subjected to
some vetting kind of thing,
vetting
and searching and stuff like that. Obviously, the US, much as we know the US is a country that thrives so much on security. The homeland security there is quite tight. In fact, one of the players, if memory serves me right, from Iran was sent packing, going back to Iran, because when he scored the goal, he gestured with a gun, like a gunshot.
Yeah.
And that to them was like
It
was
sit well.
encouraging
Gun
violence or gun violence, and the guy was sent home. We can understand that because from a security point of view, America doesn't want to relax on that. And so when you visit those countries, make sure that you are compliant with the immigration laws and you are abiding to the rules that are put there. Otherwise, you get that inconvenience.
To add on to what you just said,
Yeah.
This World Cup is actually happening at a time when immigration laws in the US have actually been tightened.
Yes.
And it's at a point where illegal immigrants are being
rounded up.
Yes. By Homeland Security.
Homeland Security.
So you'd expect that such a thing regarding the security of the nation, guys in the security departments who actually up their game.
Exactly.
To
Because they
make
don't
sure
want any loopholes.
Yes.
So that's why it's really heightened.
Right.
Security, yes.
Right. It's actually great to see how security has been heightened. That's actually assurance for safety of fans and players.
Yes, exactly.
Soccer is actually entertainment.
It is.
So you really want FIFA actually it has to assure fans that
The security,
the
total
sa-
security,
yes.
and safety, as the fans get into those that are able to go into the stadiums, those that are watching on public places,
Exactly.
the big screens, viewing places, everything is seamless in terms of security protocols. That is important for the game, for the global game of football.
Right.
It gives us, that kind of confidence when you walk into a stadium,
Right.
that you're going to be safe. Maybe you're going in with your kids or family.
Exactly.
You're safe
You're
because
safe.
the protocols are in place of
Yes.
security. That's okay.
Right.
Yes,
Let's talk about player representation.
exactly.
Yes. And of course, I would love to look at this from an African perspective.
Exactly.
And having supplied 10 nations to this year's World Cup,
Yes.
I would love you to just bring us to speed some of the big guys that have come from our continent, and and they are trading their mark and they are stamping their authority.
Obviously, we have Mane. Sadio Mane, for me, stands out for Senegal. This guy has been consistent. This guy is a leader. This guy he pulls the whole team on his shoulders. He leads by example. Even the previous Africa Cup nations,
Right.
you saw how he rallied the teams back on the pitch,
On the pitch, yeah.
when they protested and walked out. He rallied them, talked to them, and got them back on the pitch. He's there. We have Salah, Mohamed Salah, doing his thing. We have Hakim. That guy is there. We have all these players from Africa that are playing in the big leagues in Europe. Appearing there at the showpiece, doing their stuff, encouraging youngsters coming up in Africa.
Yes.
They can become that if they can dream, they can be disciplined, they can be persistent. the doors can open and we have the big stars there.
Right.
I'm missing Zambia, obviously. As a Zambian,
Yeah.
it breaks my heart that we have not yet.
We are not amongst
Even with
the
the
10.
10, we are not
We're
there.
not there.
South Africa is there.
Yeah.
South Africa cannot play better than us, but they are there.
Yeah.
You know, the football gods must be giving us, giving us space there, so that, like Dennis Iwawa would say, we are within firing range. So I look forward to the next World Cup. Zambia should be there. Polo Polo.
And speaking of Sadio Mane,
Yeah.
you talked about one aspect that actually is very important. That's providing leadership.
On the pitch.
On
and off the pitch.
On and off the
Yes.
pitch. Sadio Mane has actually been very instrumental to his team.
Yeah.
And they just come a time when one or two players in the camp will actually lead a pack. Yeah, must we say Sadio Mane is one of the vision carriers for the Senegal team?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. He is the engine of the team. He is the very epitome of excellence, patience, and discipline. So he is literally carrying that team on his shoulders, and he's now the golden age he's now in the golden age, and very soon he may exit the stage, and younger players will take after him. But definitely he is the one that everything is resting on for that team to make it to the round of 32 teams.
32.
Yes.
Do we have any young, upcoming, promising, fired up young talent right now that are showing the world that they've got what it takes, to represent the continent in future World Cups?
I think we do. Africa does not lack talent, for me, because Africa, the kind of football that we play is expressive football, where the coach needs to give the players flair and room to express their talent. This thing where everything is masterminded behind the scenes, and the coach is always there yelling instructions, and it distracts, to that individual flair that the players in Africa are known for.
Right.
The freedom to be able to do your stuff. Obviously, the game plan from the coach.
Great.
But you should be given room to express yourself. Young talent is there. Young players in Africa can never lack. So we really need to tap into that young talent and allow the players on the global stage to showcase what Africa is about. Africa plays like the samba football in Brazil.
Right.
It's expressive, it's dribbling, it's standing on the ball, it's flair, it's knowing positional play, and it's playing entertaining football. This one pass football, most of our players who have gone into Europe, they are losing that touch of African football. That was expressive, that was entertainment based. That was positional play coupled with skill, individual skill of the player. We are lacking that flair because most of our players now are integrating into the European tiki-taka one-pass football. That for me, we are losing that Africanness in the way we play.
You recall how Roger Miller would,
stand on the ball.
Or
sit on the ball.
When he scores, you recall how you would run and celebrate. That's purely.
We are losing that.
African.
Because most of our players now, they're applying their trade in Europe, and they've integrated and internalized the kind of football that is played in Europe. And you find that even gets now transported into the World Cup, and everybody is playing tiki-taka. We need to allow players to have that individual play, that individual expression of football, the talent, the raw talent that is groomed, on the streets of Africa, on the pitches, the dry pitches, dusty pitches, where Mane actually, started his career.
Yeah.
He shows us where he started from,
right
in his village, and now he's on the global stage, and I like the way Mane moves, the way he plays football, just the body language, just the attitude in his play.
Right.
Even at Liverpool, we used to see that. That is the kind of football Africans want to be glued to, because we're African. Brazilians, the samba play, that flair, we are losing it. If you look at Brazil today, they are unrecognizable. You cannot recognize the way the players of that day, when a Zico's, when a Ronaldo's, when a Cafu, the way they used to play football. We are not seeing that in the younger generation today
In the
because they've
era.
copied,
Yeah.
they've copied the way Europeans play football.
play
No
football.
wonder when we meet Europeans, they beat us.
Right.
Because we cannot beat them at what they're good at. We need to beat them with what we are good at.
That's a very good expression.
Yes.
You know, I like that. You know, if you have to beat a team, beat them based on what you're
What
good
you're
at.
good at.
What you're good
rather
at.
than copying them. Because when you copy them, you can't beat them at their game.
You are right.
Yes, no wonder African teams are struggling when they go to on the global stage.
global stage.
Because they're trying to mimic the way Europeans play football.
Football, which is not our
Which is
way.
not our way of football. We
Football.
should play the free, expressive football where we play based on the skill of the player.
You are right.
Yes, much as you are mindful of the game plan, but make sure there's that individuality where you bring in your raw talent,
Exactly.
your skills to shine,
Right.
and that way you can dribble your way and score.
And score. Talking about Africa's 10-team representation at the World Cup, let's just look at how have these 10 teams
Fair so far.
fared so far.
Well, relatively fair, but I think it's underwhelming to say because so far, not African team has won 2 games in a row. The closest is Morocco, which has 4 points now. They drew against Brazil. Obviously, that was a shocker. Everybody thought that Brazil would run all over
Yes.
Morocco, but Morocco stood their
yeah.
ground and they drew with Brazil, and then they beat the other team. And Scotland, they beat the other team, and now they have 4 points.
Right.
Then also another one was Portugal that drew again with DRC Congo.
Yes.
That one was also unbelievable.
It was a shocker.
It was a shocker because no one was expecting DRC Congo to be able to hold such a big team
Right.
like Portugal. Then we had, of course, Cape Verde, the one that drew with Spain.
Yeah, Spain.
Yes. That one was also quite a shocker because no one was expecting a big team like Spain
To be
held
held
by
by
a team like
little
Cape
known-
Verde. But when I did the review of the formations, they did a low block. They had 5 players in their defense. 5 players and 4 as a pivot in their midfield.
Right.
So that just confused Spain. And the Spanish coach, De La Fuente, he has repeated the same mistake. Even now, I think the last time I checked, they were leading 3-0 against Saudi Arabia. But he has repeated putting the best goalkeeper in 3 successive seasons in the Premier League on the bench in the name of David Raya. That's a mistake. That's a huge mistake from that coach. I know it's the Arsenal blood talking, but for me, I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. Not at all. Yeah.
Excitement and confidence
Yes.
that we have a different set of nations
Yes.
at this
At this
year's,
level. Yes.
World Cup.
Exactly. Yes,
Yes.
you are right. I think anyone who was thinking African teams would be lambasted by the big teams, the group of death and all these teams, when you look at them on paper, they were going to just whitewash African teams. That has not happened.
Yeah, got a
We are
shocker,
seeing
yes.
them really sticking it out,
Yeah.
standing up to what we expect of them,
Yes.
and they are able to do something to challenge for the next stage, the round of
course.
32 teams.
Is this an indication that African football has actually
It has grown and matured, and it's coming to these showpieces, not just to participate to make the numbers, but they really, like we saw in the last World Cup,
Yes.
Morocco reaching the semi-finals.
The semi-finals.
That tells you that there's intent now to go all the way. Maybe one day we could find one of the teams getting into the final.
in the final? Let's just look at how these 10 teams have actually fared. By press time,
Yeah.
we had confirmation that
Yeah.
Tunisia has been eliminated.
Tunisia, on paper, it looks like it's eliminated, but it will also be based on what will happen within that group. Because now it's a head-to-head that FIFA is using. Like, since Tunisia lost to Sweden, yes.
Yes.
If Sweden loses to another team in that group by a lower goals, number of goals than they conceded,
Yes.
then Tunisia definitely will be out. Yes, they cannot even be the 3rd place team to go into the next round because head-to-head, they have a poor head-to-head record against Sweden.
And again, and
So technically they could be out.
yes. And then something happens.
Yeah.
In game 1, they lose 5-1 to
5-1,
Sweden.
and they fire their coach.
They go to fire the coach,
Yes.
and they brought in a
Ranao.
guy Renard,
Yeah.
you know, a guy
Meet
who
conference, meet
yes,
meet
2
tournament.
hours, yes,
Yeah, they bring him in
Yes.
when he hadn't been with the team.
with the team
And then just the next game they lose 4-0 to Japan.
to Japan.
And now what do you do? Are we going to expect him to be fired
Fired
as well?
again?
Because if they don't fire him, then definitely somebody will say an injustice was done to the previous coach. Definitely. If they're to be consistent, they should also fire him.
Renard.
Not that I don't like him to continue, but these sort of decisions you make as the tournament is going on, I think they're ill-conceived, they're unprofessional, and we shouldn't encourage them.
But do we understand the reasons behind the firing of that coach?
Maybe one could say the cohesion wasn't there in the team. Maybe there wasn't proper game management, or maybe the strategy or the formation that the coach used. There could be many other reasons why they fired him. Sometimes it's things outside of the game. Maybe that could have triggered that.
Yes.
If it was just entirely based on the game plan and the way they played, I don't see the FA having gone to such a drastic measure to fire the coach after one game.
Then you have this guy hired after a loss.
Yes.
So in normal circumstances, would you have accepted to be hired at such a level when a tournament has
It's already
begun,
running.
It's running,
Yeah.
and stakes are high.
I think for me it does show something maybe about Renard's frame of mind, because it does show some bit of desperation maybe, or somebody not being taken seriously. Because
Right.
if you are taken seriously, you cannot accept such a job.
No.
As the tournament is running and you coming in totally unaware of the game plan, totally unaware of how the team dynamics works and everything like that. So I think for me, Renard could have been ill-advised to take that job.
Right.
Yeah.
Any team that is showing the continent that they're up to the game and given that opportunity.
I think Ghana has shown that they can stand up their own. They beat Panama 1-0.
Right.
And they are yet to meet England. They're in the same group with England. Senegal lost to France, but I believe in the next match they could turn the tables. Yeah, the same goes for Morocco. Ivory Coast lost yesterday to Germany 2-1.
Right.
But I think it's not yet done. They can still come back. All systems firing.
Right.
They've got the players, they've got the mentality, they've got the attitude, the winning mentality. I believe they can still do something. Morocco, obviously, they just need 1 point to get through to the next round. Egypt also,
Yes.
they can still come back there and do their thing. So, and DRC Congo, obviously,
Our neighbors.
Yeah, they're doing well.
They're doing well.
And I believe they can go all the way,
Yeah.
into the group stages.
And of course,
Sorry, beyond the group stages,
Yes.
into the knockout stages.
speaking of DRC,
Yes.
DRC pulled a surprise.
A surprise on Nigeria.
On Nigeria,
Yes. And the Nigerians don't like it.
and for DRC, that game actually they drew.
Yeah.
Gave the continent.
The continent a sigh of relief and hope and expectation of great things ahead. Because
Exactly.
no one was giving them a chance. Even me, I just thought there'll be a walloping to come. But obviously they stood up and they showed their resilience, their belief in who they are, and they drew.
Right. It was really a relief for the continent.
Yes.
I think for Africa, we understand the level of these, some of these nations when it
Yes.
comes to football and how
Yes.
much
the pedigree, the
Exactly.
talent, the history.
the
Yes,
investment,
the investment,
you know,
yes.
how much it's taken them to prepare for such a huge
Tournament like
tournament.
this. Yeah.
And you'd expect that for a nation like DRC would succumb.
Intimidated and succumb.
You know?
Just be
So
blown
yeah,
to pieces. Yeah.
congratulations actually to
Congratulations to them, yes.
Yeah.
They've done the continent proud so
Proud.
far, because they've stood up to the great guys and showed them that it's not going to be a walkover.
DRC. Yes.
You are not going to
You-
come here and we give you the respect
No.
and the space just to walk
On
all
a
over
silver platter.
on the silver platter. They've got to earn it and
Exactly.
deserve it if they are to win.
Yeah. And
And
somebody-
also,
and somebody-
Cape Verde did the same to Spain.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's no one who's going to just come there
And
and
stamp-
play their names and the big names.
Stamp
and
the
stuff.
authority,
No,
run
it's
over.
not going to work.
Speaking of DRC, actually, I had a friend of mine say, for DRC, probably what is working is the spirit of Patrice Lumumba.
Yeah, I see that Patrice Lumumba guy.
Yeah.
Being hoisted in the stadium.
he's-
Maybe Lumumba is watching over them. I don't
Exactly,
know. But it
he's
looks like it's
paying
working.
homage
Whatever
to
it is, it's working.
It's working.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2026 FIFA World Cup Showtime on Sportsnet FM Radio with me, Francis Nagonje, the sports addict, hosting our studio analyst, Nick Mwiwawa, just reviewing, previewing, and of course analyzing happenings around this year's FIFA World Cup being hosted in 3 nations, being US, Mexico, and Canada. And so far, we have 2 hosts having qualified to the round of 32. We'll be right back after this break. Looking for anything and everything sport? We have it all at Sportsnet. We stock all types of sports equipment, sportswear, and sports accessories. We have soccer boots, sneakers, jerseys for all team sports, shin guards, whistles, pressure pumps, goalkeeper gloves, ball carriers, tracksuits, stopwatches, and trophies, to name just a few. We also stock chess mats, table tennis, and badminton equipment. For your original and genuine sports product, Sportsnet is your reliable home for all your sporting requirements. Visit our shop at number 264, Jola Mwanza Market off Independence Avenue in Monza. For all your sales, orders, and inquiries, call on 0955 010 010 or 0975 006364. You can also send a WhatsApp message on 0960 61 3737 or an email to sportsnetzmb@gmail.com for original and genuine products. Experience the sporting difference. Sportsnet, the name in the game. Welcome back to Showtime on Sportsnet FM Radio, Zambia's home for African sports conversations, the nation's sportainment channel, with our studio analyst, Nick Mwiwawa.
Pleasure to be back.
We have seen records being broken at this year's World Cup. I think the first being from the famous global guy,
Global icon. Yes.
Lionel Messi.
Exactly.
Punching on there.
Well, there's always been this debate, who is the greatest?
Of course.
And now we know he is. Because just the first game, he netted 3 goals. Messi, without doing much, but when he gets the ball, the magic that he does with the ball is something that is just awe-striking. And he got the first 3 goals of the tournament. He's leading the pack with 3 goals now for Argentina.
For Argentina?
Yes.
What does having Messi at the World Cup mean for the soccer fans globally?
I think having him at the very latter stages of his playing career tells us a lot about endurance, about legacy, about discipline, about a player who has won it all. He has won the Copa America, he has won the World Cup, he has won titles within different leagues. Now he's playing his trade in the US. He's a global icon for sports. And I believe he has a huge following around the world.
Yeah.
And this guy is setting this World Cup on fire at his age, which all the youngsters can emulate, that age cannot restrict you from your talent.
You have soccer fans wanting to compare Messi to Ronaldo.
That comparison has always been there. You know, I've always said, those that know me know that I've always said, Messi is a player who doesn't have to exert effort to display his trade. He's a guy, it just flows naturally. He's gifted. There is magic in that left leg. While the other gentleman, all respect to him, is a Ballon d'Or winner. Several times Ballon d'Or winner. We cannot take away anything from Ronaldo and what he represents for the game. But for me, Ronaldo is a player who does stuff on the pitch because of extra effort, discipline, hard work. I'm told when he used to play at Manchester United, when everybody else has gone, he will remain on the pitch and practice on his own.
You'd be the first to arrive.
Exactly.
And the last one to leave.
and the guy gyms. If you look at the tone of his muscles,
Yes.
the six packs, he still looks like he's a 16-year-old. That is what he brings to the game. Those who are not naturally gifted and talented can still make it when they include discipline, hard work, and preparedness for the games and practice.
Right.
That's what he represents. But the two for me cannot be compared because Ronaldo is yet to win the World Cup.
Right.
That alone for me.
Let's look at it.
speaks
Let's look
volumes.
at an era past Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Which names
Are going to hit the stage.
exactly?
Well, there are so many names. We are talking of Lamau. We are talking about the Sakas of this world. We are talking about this raw talent, the
Osman
Dembeles or the Olises.
Yeah.
We all these youngsters that are, buzzing with confidence and flair and promise. I believe the world is going to be set on fire by these youngsters
Right.
coming up past or post Messi and post Ronaldo and
Ronaldo.
their golden age that is phasing away.
Must we say Neymar's footballing career is in the evenings?
I think for me it is in the evenings because I don't see him stamping his authority in that Brazilian team. Actually, I'm one of those who felt he shouldn't even have been included in this team because they have a lot of entertaining players. The young man from Chelsea, Pedro should have taken the place for
Neymar.
Neymar because he brings a lot of versatility in that forward run and coordination with the midfield, which is lacking right now in the Brazilian team. Yes.
Especially that Neymar now has an injury.
Yeah.
And is questionable.
Yeah, it's questionable.
You
Even
know.
in the last World Cup, for me, I felt he didn't do much for Brazil to advance to the next stages because he's a player that has a lot of ego around him, a lot of wanting, to be seen, the limelight.
Attention.
But attention,
Yeah.
falling all over, and all that rolling on the ground stuff. Stuff that is not needed when you're playing for the game
Yeah,
to win.
to win the game.
Win things for Brazil.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Mm.
Let's look at how the global football leagues have been represented at the
World Cup.
Which league actually is
Obviously,
leading the pack?
I have the bias towards the Premier League for obvious reasons because of Arsenal. But Arsenal has representation in many countries. That's far in this tournament.
In this tournament.
We have La Liga, obviously. We have the Bundesliga. We have the Italian, league. All these great fancied leagues in Europe, they are there to showcase their trade.
Let's single out a few, a few
Players.
actually from these leagues.
Leagues.
Probably a couple of players from each.
Obviously.
Yeah.
From the French league, obviously PSG, we have Osman Dembele
Yeah.
doing his thing there. And the other black boy that plays also for PSG doing his thing. I'm not very good at names, really, even in change I don't. But then we have the Sakas, we have from the Premier
From the
League.
Premier League.
We have the likes of Rice. Rice even provided a goal for the guy from Rashford. Yeah, there are a number of them.
Yeah.
I mean, these teams cannot be where they are without these players from the European leagues.
From the
We
league,
are
yeah.
seeing the effect,
Yeah.
of Europe,
Yeah.
on the
Bundesliga.
global stage.
Yes.
We have Olise obviously from there,
Yeah.
and many other players from Germany,
Yes.
and coming into the World Cup,
World Cup.
and showing us how it's done. The Beats
Yeah, the-
from Liverpool,
Yeah, the
they are
German
there.
machine, yes.
German machine, they're there.
Right.
We from Sweden. We have the likes of Yoki Reyes. We have this guy from the one they got from Newcastle. What is Isak? Yes.
Okay.
He's also coming into there from Liverpool, playing for Sweden.
Right.
So we have a plethora of players that are plying their trade in Europe, that are showcasing their stuff on a global stage, representing
Fine
their teams.
talent, yeah.
Fine talent, brilliant talent.
Right. Talking about all these leagues, we can't rule out the continent.
The continent of Africa.
That's where we belong. You know?
The reason most of these African teams are doing well, sadly, is not because we have perfected our local leagues here, except maybe for countries like Egypt and South Africa.
Right.
Egypt and South Africa, and maybe even South Sudan
Yeah.
and Sudan. A number of our players on the continent don't play in Africa. Unfortunately, they play in Europe.
In Europe, yeah.
And that takes away, like I said earlier in our earlier submission, it takes away from the individual flair of African players, how they used to play back in the day.
Yeah.
The Kalusha Warriors, the
Style of
Kaumbas,
football, yeah.
the Roger Millers and others, you know, the style of football has changed because of their integration into European soccer. And so they do not have that African individual flair that they had in the past. How I cry and yearn for that time when our players could be allowed to dribble, to run with the ball like Kaumba used to do,
Right.
to overlap and run with the ball. The Gentiles, you know, Kapambwe Mulengas of that era, the way they used to play, Matakos. These days, a little touch, the referee will blow. That is spoiling the game. We need to allow players like Kampela Katumba, you know, that type of hard tackling.
Yeah.
It's a hard sport. We need to bring back that. These boys are too soft and jelly-like.
Wow, that's great to hear. We have these African players now, really rubbing shoulders with the world's greats.
Cream de la cream of the world football. Yes, it does impact African teams and African perspective on the game going forward.
Global
when you
stage.
can rub with you can get a shirt after the game
You
from
swap
Messi,
Messi,
from Ronaldo,
yeah.
from Rice,
Right.
from Saka. It builds confidence. It tells you I'm going somewhere to happen.
Exactly.
And this is what we want for the raw talent of African boys growing up on the streets and the pitches of Africa. It gives you that confidence.
Exactly.
I can get there.
I can get there.
Sadio Mane was in the dusty streets of his country. Now he's plying his trade at the World Cup, rubbing shoulders with the great players of this world. Football can make it happen.
Right.
Sport can make it happen.
Right.
Yes, we can dream.
That's really, you know, the mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, the motivation that African players actually needs to carry with them, you know, as they head into these major sporting
tournaments.
tournaments,
Global
you know, like
yes.
the caliber of World Cup.
Yes.
And then players now need not just to win games, tournaments like World Cups, you know, Olympics and whatnot. There's something, you know, which is now building, and it starts with coaches. Coaches now are beginning to build that coach mentality, you know, the winning
Mentality.
championship
Players.
mentality.
Yes,
I
exactly.
would like you to punch in on there in respect to, you know, the Arsenal effect now
Yes.
at the World Cup.
Fusing it in there. You can see the confidence, obviously, of the players from Europe, from England especially, with that Arsenal effect.
Right.
Knowing that they are winners of the Premier League after 22 years, it has rubbed off on the other players within the squad. You see the likes of Saka, you see the likes of the other Rice, Saka, coming in there, Madueke, that effect,
Right.
rubbing off what they've got from Arsenal, from the training ground there, from, you know, being coached by Arteta. That effect has come in. We see the high press. We see the discipline at the back.
Right.
The defensive formation is solid for England today. I believe owing to that
Arsenal's
winning mentality from
mentality.
Arsenal that have brought into the England squad. Even when they were tied with Croatia, we saw England coming in, introducing new players and using set pieces like from Arsenal
Arsenal's.
and make it count for England.
Yeah.
So there's that effect, obviously.
That's
Yes.
high, you know,
High press.
High press.
Yes.
You know, you could see the, you know, the self-esteem amongst the
The
players.
players is high.
High,
Yes.
of course, they want to show on a global stage.
Global stage.
And especially that, you know, like you said, they won the English Premier League.
Exactly.
They went to play the Champions League.
Yes.
You know, and just the two
Big tournaments.
big tournaments just gave them the edge.
The age to be able to take it to another level.
another
and
level.
England maybe this time around maybe find themselves in the top 2 or the final 4.
Right.
Because England has what it takes to get there because of the effect of the Premier League, the way
Premier
it's
League.
managed, the way it runs, the intensity of the Premier League and the discipline there, the fluidity of the Premier League. If they can transpose that into the national team and carry on with the same mentality,
Right.
England can go all the way.
Wow.
Yes.
We're winding down.
Thank you.
Of course, we have a bias towards the motherland,
Yes.
which is Africa.
Yes.
We'll start from Africa.
From Africa.
Yes. Which African nation so far has, you know, found their domain and are looking to dominate, especially as they approach towards the round of 32,
Yeah.
and they really want to get their game to the next level.
For me, I think it's Morocco, no doubt. Morocco is one team that I'm seeing has that edge. They have the expertise. Most of their players even play their trade
In Europe.
In France in particular. Some of the winning teams for the Champions League, they come from there. These guys are really geared up to take it to another level,
Yes.
and I believe their next match they're going to win it and get the points to get into the round of 32.
32.
And once they are there, that's knockout stage football. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's tournament mentality that gets you there.
Championship mentality.
Championship mentality. If you've got that winning mentality and you put your foot on the pedal,
Yeah.
you can get it done. I believe Morocco is one of them. Ivory Coast, I think they can pick themselves up after the loss from Germany.
Right.
They can go all the way. And Egypt, obviously, is one of them. And DR Congo, obviously.
DR Congo.
Those 4 teams for me,
They
they're going to
stand
make
out.
it. They stand out for me,
Yes.
and they're going to make it for Africa.
Right.
Yes.
And how about European nations?
In Europe today, when I watch Germany and I watch Netherlands, I believe the firepower in those teams is there. The belief,
Yeah.
the hunger. Those 2 teams, I root them out. But now I'm beginning to reconsider, looking at how they've played so far, the mentality, the high press,
Right.
the passing, the accuracy. And obviously I still root for France, but having looked at these teams,
The 2 teams.
I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
going to be explosive. Once they're pitted against each other,
Yeah.
the big teams of Europe, the players of Europe, they're pitted against each other. There's going to be explosions in this World Cup.
Right.
I can't wait.
Right.
Yes, it's getting exciting.
It's getting excited, of course.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the World Cup is getting to a level where now teams are beginning to position
gears also.
change gears,
Yeah.
position themselves.
Yes.
Because now it's the issue of when you're left out,
Yeah. That's it.
You
may
can't
never
catch
up. Yes.
you never
Exactly.
catch up.
Yes.
It will be just the issue of you pack your
You
bags.
pack a bag and
If
leave.
you're coming back to Africa,
Yeah.
you're done.
On the next flight.
You're next on the next flight.
Like South Africa is in a very tight position right now where they're meeting a team that also needs to win, and that's South Korea. And they have to have a win in their last match to guarantee a 3rd place in their group. Otherwise they're packing their bag, hamba, back to Africa.
And already like I said, it's confirmed that Tunisia has
Technically they're out.
they're out.
Yeah.
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 Unless
The first team from Africa to exit the World Cup.
to exit
Yes.
the World Cup.
Definitely.
Your final remarks.
My final remarks, I think we need to put our weight behind the African teams. Obviously, some of them are debutants like Cape Verde.
Right.
We need to support them to the hilt. And I like what Africa is doing, except for South Africa, obviously. Because South Africa is doing something that is just uncalled for outside of football, obviously. But it's having an effect on the way the other African nations are viewing them. No wonder they're not giving them the support.
Right.
But overall, it's a showpiece that is going to go down in history as one of the greatest showpieces in the world has ever seen, because it's happening in 3 places at once.
At once.
What a showpiece.
Of
I'm
course.
excited.
And
Francis.
and talking of Cape Verde,
Yes.
we got confirmation based on the goalkeeper's
Yes.
performance
Yes.
that the US
Yes.
actually had
to bring in the mother.
the mother.
To come and watch.
see how
Yes. The son is performing.
The son's performance.
He's 40 years old, by the way.
Yes.
One of the oldest
players on the
in
team.
the World Cup, yes.
And winding down,
Yeah.
we already have confirmation of Jeremy
Yes.
Doku of
yes.
Belgium, stating that his wife is expecting
Yeah.
in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
And the brother says he would love to be present.
To be present, yes.
He has decided actually to choose family over his career.
Career, yes.
Yeah, and all
So
like to wish
Doc would like to go back and witness the birth of his child
of his child
at the expense of playing for
play-
Belgium.
For Belgium,
I give him kudos. Family comes first.
of course.
Yes.
Like we've
Will
always said,
you be allowed to come back and join the team?
it's something which, of course, the populace in Belgium are already questioning,
Yes.
and others are already criticizing.
No, they shouldn't criticize him.
Yeah,
That's the greatest moment for any dad. I'm a dad. To witness the birth of your child.
Exactly.
The first time I had a baby, I was actually coming from South Africa. I'd gone on an assignment for work.
right.
And the Lord was so gracious with me. He allowed me, when I stepped onto the airport, I was ferried quickly to UTH, and lo and behold, when I got there,
Right.
that's the time my wife delivered.
Right.
My son was born, and it was the happiest moment. So I feel for Doku. He needs to go there
Yeah.
and witness the birth of his baby. If the team is gracious,
Yeah.
let them allow him to come back and play for Belgium
Right.
after he has seen his baby.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Like we've always said on Sportsnet FM radio, having the skill set alone is not enough in a world where the biggest asset is the mindset.
Exactly.
If these teams have to advance to the round of 32 and go beyond, it will take them more than skill sets.
Exactly.
They'll have to bring on the championship mentality.
Yes.
This is at the level where soccer has reached now. It requires you to go beyond your skill.
Exactly.
You've got to apply your mental toughness.
That's right.
Your coach mentality. Until we meet again next time, I'd like to wish our host analyst Nick Muwawa a happy Father's Day, Nick.
Thank you so much. Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank
too.
you.
And everybody watching there, the fathers out there.
Exactly.
Happy Father's Day and peace.
And would like to wish, all the players at the World Cup and all the fathers in the world a happy Father's Day. From me, Francis Nagonje, the sports addict on Sportsnet FM radio, Zambia's home for African sports conversations. It's bye-bye.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Sportsnet FM. Your truest trusted sports buddy again and again. Hey, hey. From the coach's playbook to the fans' loud cheer, we bring the game closer. The passion is clear, strategy, energy, pride in the sound. Sportsnet FM, where the heartbeat for sports is found. It's showtime, it's the game plan for the leaders and the fans. From Monday to the world we stand. Sportsnet FM, your trusted brand.
Highlights, debates, the stories we share. Voices of the fans fill the air. Executives, coaches, the vision is grand.